Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bourbon Hang. Welcome to Thursday night. I know this is kind of last minute and there's a couple other channels going live, but we got some samples in from the good folks at Limestone Farms. And, since we got next week, we've got our Halloween stream, which is always one of our most popular streams of the year. And maybe I'll give you guys a little teaser to that a little bit later today. But, I had some time, so I thought tonight I'd go through, I would taste these. I will tell you guys, uh, I did have just a little bit because anytime a new distillery sends me stuff, I don't want to shit on their product, especially if they're a new distillery. So I just made sure I tasted through to make sure it wasn't going to be something I hated, especially with new distilleries. You guys know if I get any of those crafty, like super woody notes, I'm out. And so obviously if I'm doing this stream, I liked it enough where I want to taste through these with you guys tonight and talk a little bit about them. I had a great week. Yeah, I will say hey to everybody in the chat in just a little bit. So if you can hear me, let me know. Let me know what you're sipping on tonight. In fact, I'm gonna get a little warm up pour of some Holiday soft red wheat. Oh man, I haven't been in. Oh, you know what? This is a screw top. That's why that was so hard. I forgot this was a screw top bottle. Oh man. So I thought we'd, taste another smaller. Well, I don't even know if Holiday is really that small anymore, but Limestone Farms is out of Georgetown, Kentucky, which is near Buffalo Trace. So apparently, from what I hear, they have one of the biggest pot stills, maybe second to Woodford. So that's pretty cool. In fact, I see Tom Morrow. Tom Morrow, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for sending me these samples. I promise, even though Tom's here, I'm going to give you guys my honest review on these. So let me see who else is in the chat. Corey, what's up, dude? It's very, very interesting stuff. Daniel's in the house. Raffle week. Excited to see some people Sunday. Yeah, man. A1 is having their raffle. A1 is our store. A1 is our people down in Effingham, Illinois. They're the ones that support our charity organization. They do so much good for the community. So if you guys have been buying their store picks, which you should because they're ridiculous, they're having their raffle on Sunday. I'm going to try to be there. I don't know if I can make it, but I'm going to try to be there. Corey says, sound is good. Awesome. G-Hawk's in the house. What's up, dude? Tom Morrow, Limestone Farm, small batch, 113.6 proof, 7813.9 mash bill, age 9 years is what I'm sipping on. Oh, nice. I think I have a sample of that, right? I think I have a sample of that tonight. Chad, what's up, dude? Cheers, buddy. G-Hawk is sipping on some 4-Gate Kelvin 5. The expensive stuff, G-Hawk. Nice. All right. I got to tell you guys, last weekend we were down in Cincinnati to see Andrew Schultz. By the way, I think he's getting ready to tape. I don't know how much you guys are into comedy, but he's getting ready to tape his latest special. And dude is off the charts funny, man. My wife and I had such a good time. But we also went to Revival in Cincinnati. If you've never been to Revival, it's a pretty cool little place where they have a lot of vintage whiskeys. You can buy vintage whiskeys. You can even negotiate. If you see something, it's usually priced at the highest price. You can negotiate a little bit, and they'll come down if you really see something that catches your eye. But they have a lot of vintage pours behind the bar. It's a neat place. You can only get 2 ounces of whiskey. So I just had 4 half-ounce pours, but tried some old E.H. Taylor, some single barrel picks they had. It was really fun. While I was there, met Sean. So Sean, I don't know if you're going to tune in tonight, but cheers, man. This guy came and sat next to me at the bar. It was like, You look familiar. You're like whiskey weather or something. And I said, yeah, you're pretty close, man. But it was a great time. We had great conversation. The guys that run Revival, super nice. Very, very good at telling you about the whiskeys and recommending things. So if you guys are ever in Cincinnati, man, I recommend you stop by there. Very cool place. I don't know if you guys have been there, but very cool. I wanted to give you guys some news too. Our Bardstown pick with Barrels for Hope is November 4th. So very excited to go do that. We're going to get to pick a very unique mash bill with Bardstown. That's awesome. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to that. I cannot wait to see what we get on that pick. Our NBC 5-year pick went out. Knob Creek Short Barrel went out. There are about 10 of you. Somehow we accidentally tossed shipping labels. I don't know what happened, but I've got your bottles, so everything's going to be fine. It's going to be delayed for you guys getting your Knob Creek Short Barrel pick. We already did another Knob Creek. We just have to wait for that to come in. We've still got Elijah Craig Barrel Proof to come in, and Green River, our Green River pick also. If you didn't see the news on Patreon, our NBC, our Nashville Barrel Company 3, which has the very similar DNA to our first pick, that we got 100. We have about 110 bottles for that. I haven't checked the poll to see how the opt-in is, but I'm sure we're going to sell out of that. So if you want that bottle, you need to opt in on the poll on Patreon. For those of you on Whiskey Tornado Patreon, we are still looking for our first barrel pick. As you guys know, we got like Penelope Architect, and they sold our barrels at like 3 days after sending us samples. And then we tasted some more samples that just weren't good. So we didn't do a pick. But we'll have some stuff coming for you guys. I plan on doing 4 to 6 picks a year with Whiskey Tornado. So let me see who else is in the chat. Oh, Tom says, I do have that. Awesome. I can't wait to taste through these, man. Gonna be a good time tonight. Jim Hansen, driving but listening. That's awesome, man. Cheers, buddy. Mike Booth, Mike's in the house. What's up, Mike? Excited for our Halloween live stream. Let me give you guys just a little teaser. I think I have this pulled up. I think the word's out. I think some of you know what we're gonna be, but so next week on our Halloween live stream next Thursday, we got all the guys that you really want to see, not just me on. We did blends. So we did a blend. We made our own blends of products that we found on the shelf. We're going to submit those to each other, and we're going to vote on who made the best blend with shelf bourbons and rye or whatever you want to put in there. So here's just a quick little teaser. So the question is, who's going to be dressed up as Marge, right? Should be a great time. It's always my favorite stream of the year. Besides our Bourbon of the Year stream, our Bourbon of the Year stream's just, man, that's always the biggest one. But Halloween's a close second. So it'll be a lot of fun. And we're doing it on Halloween this year, which is pretty cool. So Dan's in the house. What's up, dude? Cheers, buddy. Just opened the Nashville pick. The 5-year or the 8-year? Probably the 5-year, I would guess. 5 years good, man. You would never know it's 5-year, and you definitely wouldn't guess that was distilled in Tennessee. But it's not Dickel. It's not Dickel. All right. David Bass is also in the house. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, Lance and everyone. Good to see you in here, bud. Yeah, man. So what I would be interested as I sip through these tonight is to know what is your guys' favorite picks of the year so far. Name multiples. I would love to hear from you guys what you're really loving this year, regardless of price. So, all right. That's a good warm-up pour. I always like to do those just to make sure my palate's right. I'm tasting everything I usually taste on Ben Holiday. So we're going to go probably, I don't know. We usually go maybe an hour on these tonight. So we'll see. All right, let me get to the first one here. And Tom's in the chat. If Tom's in the chat, he can tell you guys more than I probably know about Limestone Farms, because I'll be honest, I had not heard of them until I got an email from Tom. So again, thanks for sending these. All right, here we go. This is the this is the first one we're going to be tasting. So Limestone Farms Bloodlines. I think some of these, maybe in Kentucky, these are already in the stores. You can also order them on their website, which is just lfdistilling.com. So you guys can order them if you're interested in anything tonight. I don't know what's all on there and what's available. Maybe Tom can tell us. I will tell you this first bottle, as a marketing major, and you guys know I love the marketing aspect of bourbon. That label is beautiful. The label and the bottle, everything about that grabs my attention. I really like it. So this is the LF Bloodlines, and this is the Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 96.1 proof. Let's see what other stats are on this. $59. I think I got that there. $59. A blend of 6 to 9 years old. 78% corn, 13% rye, and 9% malted barley on this. I kind of want to be careful and not do too much of these, because if I really love one of these, I want to do a separate review for it, not just a live stream. So let's get into the nose on this. Cheers, everybody. Nose is beautiful. So I will tell you guys, I know we talked about it in Discord a little bit for those of you that are in our Discord channel, but this is sourced. So this is not their own distillate, but they're looking to open, I guess, any day, fall or winter is what I read on their website. The distillery they're building looks beautiful. I guess it's a family farm that they're building on, and they're going to be doing their own distillate, but this is sourced. So now on the nose on this, very caramel, brown sugar forward, but nutty. There's some nuttiness in there. And then there's this like, it's a very, there's a very earthy tone to this. Almost, this isn't going to sound good, but it's almost like a soil note. So, all right. Cheers, guys. Boy, that is really nice for 96.1 proof. I'll tell you guys, it came in with this, like, with a lot of nuttiness. It tasted a little like beam on the front, like almost like a watered down kind of Booker's, but then it blossomed that, like, that earthy note I was getting blossoms into again, this isn't going to sound great, but it blossoms into this, like, wet wood kind of mildewy note, which I like in small doses. This might be a little too heavy on that note for me. And I used to like it more until I was on a barrel pick at Hard Truth. And you guys know I love Brian Smith and Hard Truth. And we tasted some faulty barrels, and he was showing me some notes that were faulty and barrels they kicked out. And one of the notes is this kind of mildewy, earthy tone. Now, when I was earlier on in my bourbon journey, I used to pick that note up and think it was age, and I kind of enjoyed it if it was in small doses. I've had some barrels that are just absolutely trash, covered with that note. This has a hint of it. Just like if it had just a little bit less, it would be something I like. But man, it tastes so much like Heaven Hill. At first, I think it's Beam, and then it tastes like Heaven Hill. I wonder if, I don't want to say where they're sourcing from. I'll let Tom say that if he can. I don't know what kind of NDAs they have or don't have, but I will tell you it tastes the nuttiness from Beam, it tastes like it's nuttiness from being blended with some of the notes I get in Heaven Hill bottles that I don't like. And I'm the biggest Heaven Hill fan. So for me, you know how that like young wood note getting craft whiskeys isn't my thing, but some people love it. It's the same with that earthy tone. If it's too much, I'm not a big fan of it, but some people absolutely love it. And for me in this first one, that note is just a little too heavy. And I get it in some Heaven Hill bottles that I don't like. In fact, that'd be interesting. I might do this later tonight. Brad Key, one of our Patreon members, sent me this bottle, which is NBC. You guys know I absolutely love NBC. This is a Nash Tucky that the store told him was Willet distillate. It's not Willet distillate. It tastes very much like Heaven Hill distillate to me, but it has that same mildewy wood note, but it's a little too strong for me. And so that may just be a thing that I don't like, but for me, while this shows some promise, I think there's just a little bit of that, too much of that blended into it. We're going to come back to it, but for right now, that's my thoughts on the bloodlines. There's some good stuff there. There's some good stuff. There's for the proof, it's got a good texture, good viscosity. But yeah, let me catch up with chat here. Claudio said, Lance, hope all is well. Do you feel the cheers pillows on the tornado swag site? Yeah, I do, man. Yeah. Actually, I'll post that. I'll try to post that for you tonight because I can't remember the website. It's not the whiskeytornado.com site. It's a different site. But yeah, in fact, I'll show you guys what it says. If you can see it. Yeah. Aren't they beautiful? I love them. Everybody that comes over loves that pillow. All right, let's get on to number 2 here. So, Tom said LF15 is a code for 15% off. Everything is available 48 states. Oh, nice, man. Awesome. I'll tell you guys quick notes as we go through tonight. The further I got in these samples last night, and again, I was just taking less than half-ounce samples, so I wasn't really evaluating them. The more I got into them, the more I was in love. There's some good stuff coming up, I'll tell you that. So, let's see. All right, Tom says, all Kentucky source juice. Once we open, we'll make our own while continuing to blend Kentucky only. Oh, nice. Oh, that's perfect, man. That's perfect. So, all right. So this next one is the Bloodline Small Batch. Change my thing here. So again, beautiful bottle. So we're jumping up to $80 here. This is 98.4 proof. And 6 to 9 years old. The mash bill says unknown on this. I don't know if we know the mash bill, so that's interesting. All right. Let's see if I can taste a $20 difference here. This, at least on the nose, I don't remember what it was from last night. At least on the nose, those like earthy tones are kind of tamed down for me. That like that mildewy wood is, I'm not tasting that as much. This is more honey, more caramel, but still that nuttiness is there, which again, I think I told Tom last night when I emailed him, it sure smells like they're sourcing from Beam, but that still has that earthy tone to it. And I don't know if that's intentional by the guys that are blending it. It's not as strong. That actually, I got to taste these side by side because the first one's 96.1 proof. The second one's 98.4. The second one was a little more drying and a little more of the wood tannins were coming through on the finish. Felt a little thinner than the first one, but you know, Who knows? Let me taste these side by side. They have the same DNA. Okay. The the first one, the LF Bloodlines Kentucky Straight Bourbon, definitely a little hotter, a little more ethanol forward, a little stronger on those earthy tones. The second one, when you jump up $20, is definitely more rounded, a little more creamier. It's not as sharp, and those earth tones are dialed down. So I do like the second one for $80 better than the first one. Um, but again, when we're talking new distilleries, it's not fair for us to compare these to like Heaven Hill or Jim Beam or any of the legacy distilleries. Getting started is expensive, so I never am mad at supporting newer distilleries who are sourcing really good stuff. This is just for my particular palate. The Bloodlines has a little too much of that earthy note for me. Now, some people are going to absolutely love that. If you love that earthiness, and again, it's a little bit, but for me, I'm sensitive to it. And if you love Jim Beam and Heaven Hill products, I would say if you love Jim Beam or Heaven Hill products, you'll probably really like those. They're good. That second one, if I had to knock it for anything, it's just a little too drying and a little too tannic. Maybe it's that additional. Well, I guess they're both 6 to 9 years, so they taste very similar though. Um, all right, Tom said, I guess we can say. He said you nailed the beam. Beam is the majority of the blend. All right, very interesting. All right. And you can tell there's that nuttiness. You can tell it's well crafted bourbon. Um, it's not, you every time I see a brand new distillery, I'm always worried that, is it gonna a great example is like Hidden Barn or Castle and Key. Some of their stuff was so excited for those two. And for me, it's just it's too much of that youthful wood. Like you just cut a 2x4 and you're tasting sawdust. And I just can't do that. This has none of that stuff. None of that at all. Terry, what's up, dude? Cheers. Cheers, man. Mark Emenecker's in the house. Joe Dickinson says Beam. Let's see. Corey said, Tom, those are beautiful labels. They are beautiful labels, man. I absolutely love them. The first two. I actually like the Bloodlines label more than the last three we're gonna do here. All right, let's get into the third one. All right, so this is Morgan Family Select. I will say the names get a little confusing for me because this first one is Morgan Family Select. The second one is Morgan Family Small Batch. And the last one's Morgan Family Private Batch. I always have to look at the labels because they do get a little confusing. I don't want to, I don't want to mispronounce anything. All right. So this one comes in. Now we're talking. Now we're getting up in proof. Now we're talking 111 proof on this guy. Now, for my particular palate, what I hope is as we start going up, this is $100 a bottle. So, I hope some of those earthy tones that I'm sensitive to are kind of not there. Let's see. The mash bill on this is 78% corn, 13% rye, 9% malted barley. So the same as the other two. So I assume, we're still talking Beam. I believe that's the same mash bill as like Baker's and Booker's and all that. So it may not be exactly though. I think if I remember, I think that might be like 75, 13, 12 or something. I don't think it's exactly that. So now we're talking for me. That has, you know, the thing I love about Booker's is when you get those peanut caramel kind of brown sugary notes and you get like a layer of fruit. And this kind of starts to incorporate a little bit of a cherry note for me. Um, Much better experience, much better rounded. There's none of that earthy, mold, mildewy wood kind of texture or notes to it. There's nothing to hate or dislike about this. Let me take another sip here. Yeah, honey. It's like honey covered peanuts. This is, you know, one of our famous Patreon members, Ed Sturgar, loves his Bookers, and this we're starting to get into some Ed Sturgar territory here. In fact, he's coming by Monday. I might have to give him some pours of this, see what he thinks of it. But that's beautiful, really well rounded, for 111 proof, nice texture, blossoms on the palate. Mm. Let me see who else we got here. Um, Tom said Amanda did an amazing job for us on those. Yeah, good job, Amanda. Those are great. Uh, Tom said, "We're glad to hear honesty. Believe me." Oh, good, man. Yeah, it's, dude. I tell you, man. When I'm reviewing products, I'm always. I've had brands before where that I didn't review things good. I just always try to tell everybody, like, look, my palate is not. You know, a lot of our viewers have watched me for a long time because they have similar palates. So but some people act like you insult their mom when it's impossible to please everybody. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean somebody else isn't going to like it. A perfect example of that is Bacta 1928. I absolutely love, and I've brought that bottle to so many bottle shares, and a lot of bourbon drinkers absolutely think that bottle is disgusting. And it's nothing bad on Bacta, just people's palates are different. So, but I would say, Tom, and again, I'm I am an amateur at best. But those notes I was getting in the first two of that mildewy kind of earthiness. I don't know if you guys are going for blending that. If you were, then you hit it. And probably people who haven't tasted a lot of bourbon may love that and not think anything of it. But I would be interested to talk to the blenders and see if that's what they were going for, or you know, it'd be interesting to know. But David Bay said, Lance giving honest opinion. Gotta love that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not running this channel for money, guys, so I'll always tell you guys my honest opinion. So, but this family select batch, 111 proof, that's getting more. That's more my speed. I'm liking that better than the first two. So we're in an upward trajectory. It's good. David Small, what's up, my brother? Cheers, buddy. Cheers, man. Let's see. Tom Morrow, our small label had a misprint. It's private stock, not private batch. The first four you taste are 78, 13, 9. Okay. I hope I'm tasting them in the order you wanted. I think I am. All right. So next, we're going for, this is Morgan Family small batch. This comes in at 111.7 proof. So this is 8+ years. Entry proof of 115. I don't know what the entry proof on the others were, but entry proof on this is 115. So that's nice. I like a lower entry proof. 8+ years. Again, 78, 13, 9 on the mash bill. Let's see. Ooh, oh man. This is, now we're getting in, now we're getting somewhere. This is getting into some of those butterscotch notes, and butterscotch is one of my favorite nosing and tasting notes. I just absolutely love it. We've got caramel, we got butterscotch. Maybe even there may even be some leather on there, which is showing that age, which I love. I'm not getting those earthy tones. Mm, all right. Best part about a nose is when you smell it and you get excited to taste it. This nose is so far my favorite of the bunch that we've tasted or we've smelled. So, um, let's see. ASMR whiskey. Cheers from Vegas. Cheers, man. Cheers. I don't know if I've seen you in chat, but welcome. All right. All right. Let's go in for the taste. I'm excited on this. I had to get one more smell. Mm. Oh, I forgot to change the thing. That's very that's very Booker's-esque. I mean, if I was tasting this blind, so the price on this one 140. Let me get the comment off here. Very Booker's-esque on this one. A little drying on the back end of the palate, but I get that on a lot of Bookers as well. But it is very peanut caramel forward. That one, I don't know if I like that one as much as the one prior, just because it's a little bit drying on the back end of the palate. Let me take another sip. It had You're bringing back in a little bit of those earthy tones, not near as bad as on the first two on the bloodlines. It's a whisper of it, and it's a little bit astringent for me. I'm gonna go back to the what I say that was the family select. I can't remember. I'm sorry, Tom. I do get mixed up on your labels. So for my particular palate, I actually like the $100 better than the 140. It it blossoms into this the $100 bottle blossoms into this, like there's honey, there's peanuts, but there's a little bit of floral aspect that makes it very interesting. It just kind of blossoms on the palate, which I really enjoy. Um and again, it could be the order I'm having these. The second one, the $140 one, the Morgan Family Small Batch, um, just a little astringent and a little drying on the palate. But I love the nose on that. The butterscotch that's coming through on the nose. It's a little bit of leather on the palate. That's nice. I just think for my particular palate, I honestly might prefer the $100 one more. All right. And I think what I'll do, because I'm kind of flying through these, is once I taste this last one, I'm going to start with last, and we're going to go back the opposite way. See if my opinion changes on any of these. So, um, let me change the banner here. Show you guys what's up next. All right, now a little bit of price tag shock. I understand. This is 190, 115 proof. Entry proof is 110. So much like, Wild Turkey, you got a lower entry proof. The actual proof is up, so should be more concentrated in theory. The mash bill on this, very, very interesting. I've never even heard of this mash bill, but 70% corn, 10% honeyed wheat, 10% honey malted rye, and 10% distiller's malt. So unique, very rare mash bill, 8 years old. I was doing some research trying to find other brands that had a mash bill even close to that. I don't know any. I know like Rabbit Hole had a 70% corn, 10% honey malted barley, 10% wheat, 10% rye. I think that's what it was. I could be off on that, but I've never really liked anything from Rabbit Hole. I doubt that's who this is from. But I don't know. Very, very interested to try this. And the color on this is beautiful. I guess I should have showed you. But it is a nice dark color on there. This is my favorite nose of all of them. Man, I don't know if it's because I know there's honey wheat and honey malted rye. But there is honey on this. There's much more fruit on this, less peanut forward. None of those earthy tones on the nose. Very floral. Almost like a honeysuckle. There's some almost like a strawberry note on the nose. I don't know if I've smelled anything quite like that. No, again, no craftiness whatsoever. Just smells like it smells like really good bourbon. Cheers, everybody. I mean, you put that in any blind, I don't know if anyone would know what that is. It is really good though. I gotta have another sip. The finish went away really quick. So you know when you taste a bourbon, you get all these flavors and you love them, and then the finish goes away pretty quick. Um, you got to go back in for a second sip. I don't want to do that on a $190 bottle, but I will tell you what was there in the beginning. I absolutely loved. So let me take a second sip, chew on it a little bit, see if I can pick up some more stuff. Oh man, that's crazy. That is really good. Um, man, there's a lot to unpack there. It is what's the proof? 115. I mean, that's my sweet spot. Number one, this has the texture, the viscosity you want, and more importantly, most importantly, for people who've been drinking bourbon a lot, it has the uniqueness that you want. I want to drink more of this, but I think I'm going to do a separate review on this. So I'm going to save the rest of this and see what I can get out of this. If there's some bottles on their website, I might have to get this. Might have to. So hmm. It is like a grape Jolly Rancher. Um, it's floral. There is that like honeysuckle note. There is this like honeysuckle, grape Jolly Rancher kind of thing going on. Mm. I wish it hung around a little bit more. That is one thing I wish because the notes and the flavors that are there are so beautiful. I'm trying to think, what would I think this is if I was drinking it blind? Hmm. I mean, the only thing I get those like grape honeysuckle notes on is Willet, but it doesn't I don't know that it doesn't taste as willety as Willet. I don't even know if that's a word. Maybe I just made it up. Let me go back to this cuz I do as I'm thinking about this on Willet Purple Tops. Um I've got an old Kirk up there which I know is Willet, which is Willet juice. Um there are those like honeysuckle grape notes that I absolutely love. This reminds me of that faintly, but I don't know. Hmm. Yeah. Let me get I'm gonna get that old Kirk down, taste it next to this, and see what we got. The old Kirk is gonna be a whole nother animal though, because I think it's 126. I think it's around 6 years old, 7 years old, but it is Willet. I would like to taste those side by side. So just say, Thing is, it's just such a unique mash bill, man. 70% corn. I'm getting good heat on the finish too. 70% corn, 10% honeyed wheat, 10% honey malted rye, 10% distiller's malt. I can definitely see why this is the most expensive bottle in their lineup. Um, for me, if I had to, like the first two were okay. Those are good entry bourbons. I think a lot of people who are newer or maybe even like middle of the road bourbon drinkers, I don't know that some of those mildewy, earthy notes are going to turn them off like it turns me off, just because I've been through tastings and I've tasted faulty barrels. And I'm not saying that's faulty. Like again, you can blend a little bit of that in, and it brings some uniqueness and some character to the whiskey. And these neither of these are bad. They're just not my jam. They're not for my palate because of that note. But I think again, if you like Heaven Hill and Jim Beam, I think you'll absolutely love those. The next two, much more Jim Beam-esque. I don't know if I'd say they don't have the texture that Booker's has, but same profile, some beautiful variances to what you would normally get on a Baker's or Booker's. Nothing to hate about those. I don't even mind the price points of those. But this last one, again, you're getting up, bourbon's getting so crazy in price, but we got to give them a little bit of leadway because they're a newer distillery. And you know, they're just trying to make it. But this bottle, this last one, is the one for me. It's really cool. I like it. And it's so unique. We're always looking as bourbon drinkers, bourbon nerds, I should say, we're always looking for that really unique experience. And I really believe that is a unique experience, and a good one. So let me see. Let me taste these side by side. Oh man, the nose on that is awesome. Let me catch up in chat too, see what you guys are talking about. See if I sound like I'm crazy. ASMR, I'm not sure I have been here before, but many other channel owners speak well of you, and what you are tasting sounds fantastic. Oh, nice. Cool, man. Well, cheers and welcome. Let's see. The last pour private stock is 70% corn, 10% honey malted wheat, honey malted barley, 10%. Yes. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, Tom, now we're talking. If it's under 165 with the LF15, now we're talking. So, all right. Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I can't say with confidence. In fact, the more I drink it, the more I'm not so sure that's Willet, but it has some of those characteristics with the honeysuckle, the grape. It's just not as, you know, when I drink Willet, it's like an explosion of that. Let me make sure I'm remembering correctly. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. It's like there are hints of that in this, but I mean, that old Kirk is just like that stuff's another animal, man. Holy crap. Um Tomorrow, laughing out loud, he's about to get it. I'm not sure if that's referring to me or something else, Tom. ASMR, I completely agree. My impressions of Rabbit Hole was that it's disappointing and overpriced. That's a shame. The owner seems so personal in interviews. Yeah, man, that's the thing. Like, you know, it's never anything personal, but you have to be true to yourself. You have to be true to your audience, and um, you know, if you don't like something, you need to say it. It's again, it's nothing against the whiskey, because I've had plenty of whiskeys that I absolutely love, and some of my best friends who are bourbon aficionados did not like it whatsoever. So it's just difference of opinions. So you just in this game, you got to find whose palate you trust and who you like, and then go with that. For me, My favorites are Cam with drums and drams. In fact, I think Tom said he's doing the same flight tonight, so it will be. I will definitely want to go back and watch Cam's opinion because dude's got a monster palate, incredible recall. I would be very interested to see what he says about this flight. Jason with Mash and Drum is another person that my palate really lines up with. Josh with Stuff and Whiskey, obviously, we're good friends, so I really line up with his palate as well. And Dusty Dan's got a phenomenal palate. So those are kind of my go-tos when I do want to see a review on whether I should buy something. If they like it, I pretty much like it. We're not always in sync, but sometimes. All right. Let me see what Tom's got to say here. Tom, thanks so much for joining in tonight and helping through this. Bloodlines is a daily drinker. Select is my daily drinker. Private stock is when someone brings their favorite bottle and I have them try it against private stock in a blind. Oh, yeah, that's a good call, man. I got to have some more of this private stock. It's good stuff. It is really good stuff. I'm dying to know what this is. I don't know, man. I do not know what that is. On the first two, yeah, I would be the first two, the Bloodlines, just taste like Heaven Hill and Jim Beam are blended together to me. The other two taste like Jim Beam all the way, and this one is, I don't know. I could not tell you where this is from. So, Joe said drams and cams. Cam is comparing private stock against. What's that? What's that, Tom? What's SAFAI? He's smarter than me. I don't know. Daniel, me and Lance disagree all the time. Still respect. Yeah, there you go. It's a perfect example. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. And I respect the hell out of you, man. I really do. Yeah, Dan. So for instance, like it's funny. Like years ago, Wild Turkey 1. I was not a fan at the price. It was fine, but I just wasn't a fan. And Daniel loves that bottle, and a lot of people disagree with me on that bottle. It's not that I don't like it; I just don't like it at that price. But a lot of people absolutely love it. So, Tom said, Cam, SLB, two other channels have put private stock in their top 10 for end of the year running as best bourbon. Oh, damn. Well, I mean, Tom, it is really fantastic. I wish I probably need to get a bottle. Because it is really good, man. It's so unique. That's what I love about it. As a bourbon nerd, man, I'm always trying to find something a little bit different. And yeah. Mike Safai, $300 bottle. Oh, damn. I don't even know what that is, Tom. I'm out of the loop on that one. So I will I'll have to check that out. I can't wait to go back and watch Cam's review on these, see how we thought, because Cam and I, we'll differ a lot from like mainstream whiskey tube, but we're generally kind of the same. Like for instance, OGD 16, like I think a lot of channels shit all over that bottle. I actually really like it. And I think Cam really liked it. I think it's a good bottle. So, it's very interesting. But what are you guys' top whiskeys of the year so far? It's going to be fun to get our patrons on. I'm going to send them, we'll probably do, let me just tell you what we're going to do here, for our bourbon of the year. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what's in there. I don't want to tell you what's in there, but I will tell you, we've got three allocated bottles, and 4. Got 3 allocated bottles, four that I found on the shelf, in our bourbon of the year so far. So we're going to send those blind. We got, the normal guys on, another one of our top Patreon members, he's gonna get a flight of everything. We're gonna rate them all in a blind and select our bourbon of the year, which is always an awesome time, man. It's one of my favorite times. We're gonna do it a little bit different this year. So normally in the past, I've only done bourbons I found on the shelf and at MSRP. This year it's getting hard, man. It's getting so hard to everyone's holding their stuff back. It's just a different game. So I decided to do some I found on the shelf, some allocated. We'll put them in the blind, and then we'll probably like name our top shelfer of the year and our top allocated pick of the year based on what comes out. And then I'm really tempted to put one of our single barrels in that flight and see how our single barrel does. Nashville Barrel Company, you guys know in our recent blind, our Nashville Barrel Company pick beat Russell's 15, Elijah Craig's C923, all the major big bottles. It destroyed them. It destroyed them in a blind. So I think this is the year of the single barrels. I'm not so sure it's the year of the limited editions. I think there's some single barrels out there that compete and are better. So let's see. Joe Dickinson, Cam liked it, but said it was overpriced at 200. Or you're talking about the private? I think that's what you're talking about. Priced at 200, yes, but like Tom said, at 165, if you guys can get it using that code at 165, I don't know that it's overpriced. It's very unique and very, very good. Daniel said JD A1 pick was one hell of a pick this year. That was my favorite. My favorite A1 pick all year was the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, man. Tom said, thankfully, a true test for end of the year will be blinds. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we've always done it where it's not just my palate. I narrow it down, but then it's a collective. It's like it's a crowdsourced bourbon of the year on our channel. So we take all of them, put them together, and vote and score them. We're going to score them this year a little bit differently than we've done in the past. But I'm really looking forward to it. We've always picked some bangers, man. Like the first year we did it, I think Disco 3 was our bourbon of the year. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, I mean, has won damn near every year because it's a 12-year cash strength bourbon that I could always find on the shelf. And this year I found batch B524 on the shelf, and it's a great batch as well. So, Gladow, Lance, did you ever get into the Foursquare? No, but I can do that right now, buddy. We got 5 minutes, so we'll get into some Foursquare rum. I think oh no. Oh no, I think it's in my bunker. We're going to do that. I'm going to have to run and get it. Let's see. Tom said, laughing my ass off, Joe. No problem, brother. FYI, Lance, Joe was at the distillery Sunday with 3 channels. My goodness. You guys, Tom, man, this is awesome. You're getting the word out, getting your products into Whiskey Tube channels. So, man, that's awesome. It's cool. It's because you guys are taking the opinions of people who have been whiskey nerds for a while, right? And none of us claim to be experts at all. You know, the thing is with all these bourbons, like being niche, being a bourbon nerd and being into higher proof, cash strength, older bourbons is not what sells. I mean, if a bourbon brand that's into just niche, high proof, older bourbon is not going to do well. You've got to have these offerings that are, you know, in that 80 to 90 proof that you can get behind the bar and sell a lot of. So, I mean, you guys know this. Don't just take our opinions. It's good to like push the brand for sure. I think it does that. But having some of these offerings like bloodlines that are lower proof that appeal to the masses is definitely the way to go. If you just if you just do cash strength old bourbon, you guys will go bankrupt. just yeah, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, man, for brands. But 3 channels, man, you guys have a lot of channels going out there. That's awesome. I hadn't even heard till you contacted me, man. Tom, I woke from a dead sleep and had a vision. I knew whiskey tubers doing samples was the way to go. We're actually drinkers, not number crunchers behind the desk. Yeah, yeah. I think I mean, I wouldn't ever want to run a distillery, but I think probably a good combination is I think a good way to go is a combination of both of those things. I think you got to have probably both. Mm, that's really good though. Here's the problem I see is that this private batch, which is absolutely beautiful, at that $180 price point is tough. At 165 it's a lot better. Man, you're just up against some stiff competition when Old Kirk is selling, Willet Purple Tops at 119, 109, somewhere around there. Nashville Barrel Company is doing some amazing stuff, and their bottles are now. We just did an 8-year pick with them, and it's $130. So the price point's tough, but man, I love what you guys are doing. This is awesome. This is awesome. I will really be interested to taste your distillate. We've got to get down there, see what you guys are about. Maybe we can do something with Barrels for Hope, but yeah, great stuff. If you guys hang out, Cladau, if you're still in here, let me go run to the bunker real quick. Sorry to put you guys on hold here just a minute, and then I will grab that Foursquare rum and let's open that and taste that real quick. So if you guys got any rum you want to pop open, feel free to. Meanwhile, in the chat, I haven't seen anyone tell me what your bourbon of the year is. Type what your favorite thing is you've had this year. All right. Okay, let's see here. All right, Cladau, I think this is yours, buddy. So let me get this comment off here. Foursquare Indelible. This is ex-bourbon. I need my glasses. 96 proof. Foursquare, always fantastic stuff if you've never had it. So let's get into this. And thank you so much for this bottle, buddy. I love me some Foursquare rum. Oh, it smells good, man. I can smell it from here. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Oh, my Lord. Man, that smells good. Let's see. Tom said the stiff competition is hard to find, and many of it costs more than Russell 15. Yeah, absolutely. Thankfully, ours is available now. We appreciate the review. Yeah, Tom, thanks for sending it to me, man. I'm really excited to see what you guys do. I'm really excited to taste your distillate and future blends. Like, some people don't look favorably upon blending, but man, you look at and see what Barrel Craft Spirits has done. They are just putting out some amazing blends. So I'm all for blending. You look at Dark Arts, those kind of brands that are up and coming. It's really cool. So I'm really excited to see what you guys do. Let me know when you're going to be in town near Georgetown. I will, man. I will give you a call next time we're down in that area. So really looking forward to meeting you, man. Oh wait, here we go. Sorry. ASMR. Foursquare is easy to love. Yeah, it really is, man. It's good. This this smells like vanilla cream soda. It smells good. Oh, it's 11 years old. Distillation pot. I can't read that other word. Released September of 2021. I think this is the one that Cladau gave me. Oh man. Ooh boy. That's beautiful. Corey said, Tom, thanks for being on. Yeah, absolutely, man. Tom, anytime the blenders or master distiller or owner of the distillery wants to come on, I'd be happy to have him on and would love to talk to him about what you guys are doing. So just let me know. Sometimes those those live streams with distillers and owners, they don't get many views. I don't know why. I love that stuff. I'm a whiskey nerd, but sometimes they don't get as many views. This is really good, but man, it goes away so fast. I don't want it to go away so fast. It's crushable though. Man, it's like vanilla cream soda. It's crushable. All right. Darren Dillo is CEO. I'll let him know. Awesome, man. Well, guys, I'm excited. I love hearing from new brands, seeing what they're all about. And again, when I hear from a distillery I hadn't heard of before, I always get a little nervous. So I had to taste this stuff before. When I tasted it last night, I was like, yeah, we got to do a quick live stream, tell you guys about them, put them on your radar. If you're down in Georgetown, you need to stop by, check them out if they're open. I don't know, maybe Tom can pipe in, let us know when they're planning on opening. I think it said fall of 2024 or winter, so I assume it should be any day. But yeah, it's really cool to put these brands on your radar. I did that with Hard Truth, gosh, 5-6 years ago. They were a brand where I met Brian at Chicago Whiskey Festival, and I remember there was a line out the door for Four Roses LE, and I was like, I'm not gonna wait in line for that. And so I walked up to Brian's booth, and they had their Schoonover, which was like, he's like, you want to try our 14-year-old Dickel? And I was like, no, I don't want to try that. I was like, let me try what you guys are distilling. And they hadn't even came out with their sweet mash rye, but he had it and he poured us a glass and I tasted it. And I was like, what the hell? This is your distillate? I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. They've been one of my favorite distilleries ever since. So I love hearing from new up and coming distilleries with big aspirations and big goals. And clearly these guys are getting good barrels, which is awesome. So I'm really excited to see what they can do in the future. So, okay, let's see. I think Tom's still in here. So, hopefully first quarter of 2025 now. Yeah, man. It's never as soon as you think. That's for sure. Corey, you're my people, man. F the views, bring on the distillers and owners. Yeah, that's I don't care about the views, man. I just do what I love to do and what makes me happy. So yeah, doing these is fun, man. Rose, this is the first time I've seen you in here. Hello, everyone. Sipping on Lot 40. Nice. Dark oak, 100% rye. Love your channel content. Cheers. Thanks, Rose. Feel free to hop in more. Next week, we're doing a Halloween live stream. I don't know how ridiculous we're going to look. I'm sure it's going to be very ridiculous. I doubt we resemble any of the characters we're dressed up as. Next week's going to be off the charts fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to do some giveaways. I might even give away a Weller 12 next week. We'll see. We'll see what I can do. But Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for Tom. Thanks to Limestone Farms for providing these samples. I think you guys are doing great things. I love what you're doing so far. Um, Thanks for allowing me to give my honest opinions. I hope they weren't too honest, but I'm really excited to see what you guys do. I'm really excited to taste your distillate. It's really cool when new brands get in the game, because we need some new brands and to do some unique stuff, especially like this private select. That's great, man. Good stuff. All right, guys. I love you guys very much. We will see you guys next Thursday for the Halloween live stream. Let me quickly, one more thing here. Let me go out with a quick thank you to our patrons. Cheers, everybody. Love you guys. Thanks for making this channel possible.